Yo, what's up, my fragrance aficionados? Your boy J Rock right here. Today we're gonna be talking about a few fragrances I've been wearing this last week or so, and we're gonna start with this one because this is a somewhat newer release. It's from Alharamain. It's called Amber Oud Aqua Dubai. I really love the bottle. Check it out. It's this metallic blue cap. It's pretty heavy to the cap. Now the glass itself, it goes from like a dark, almost like royal blue, and it fades into a lighter, almost greenish teal blue, right? Like the front right here. Really like these bottles. I've always liked them. I've seen them around, and now they make a lot of different ones, different colors and whatnot. So off the atomizer, it smells real fresh, citrusy, and let's give it a spray. The spray, you could kind of almost like hold it like pressurized, right? Right away on the opening, you're gonna get a big blast of citrus, which is really nice, real appealing. It says it has mandarin and bergamot. It almost gives off a lemony smell. No lemon though. You get a touch of white florals in the background. So the opening is real nice. Get about 30 minutes where I'm just really enjoying it. The quality is fine. I wouldn't say it smells super high quality, but it is not bad. Now once we give it about 2 hours in, so at that 2 hour mark, it dies down quite a bit. It doesn't project as much. I would say it was never super beast mode, although that opening, as most fragrances, the opening is really strong at first. 10 minutes later, 15, it starts settling down. So now we're getting at like a 5 or 6 projection, right? Once we're like 2 hours in. But the thing is, that nice citrus smell you get in the opening for like those first 2 hours, it starts turning into something else. So at the base, it has galbanum, and it has I believe it says it has amber in the mid notes, but I'm thinking it's that amber, because once you get about 2 hours in, it turns into, you could still kind of smell the citrus a little bit. It's died down a little bit, like I said as well though, and you get this real cheap smell, like almost like a plastic type of smell. And I'm just like, what is it? What is it? So I was looking at the notes. I'm like, it smells almost like a plastic bag or something. Like, and I'm thinking it's that galbanum and maybe the amber, because I know sometimes when the amber note is done very like cheaply made, it has almost a similar smell or like a similar texture, let's say, where it's almost plasticky. I get that here, and I was like, I didn't enjoy it. So I was like, the first 2 hours are okay. And even then, the first 2 hours, the opening smells real nice. But after like 20 minutes, that citrus smell starts smelling a little bit like cheap as well, right? Like some lemon plate. I hear people use that comparison or description. Not per se on this fragrance, but they've used it in other citrusy fragrances when they're describing them. And I think it would apply here, where after like 20 minutes, the notes are settling in, and you start noticing the quality. It's not, the citrus quality is not the greatest, but it's fine. But like I said, once you get to those 2 hours, then it just gets very like to a level where I was just like, it's like really cheap now, right? Like it just smells kind of plasticky and low budget. I paid like, I think $50 for this, and I think I probably would keep it just because I really like the bottle, so I like having it in the collection. But the smell itself, I was like, it was very average at best. At best. So performance, you're gonna get about 4 hours. Not a huge performance. Even on my shirt, it lasts maybe 5 hours. Projection is like a 6, then it goes to like a 5 and 4. Not a piece projection. That wasn't really too much of an issue. To me, it was more the longevity and the quality of the smell. I wasn't pleased with it. Even at $50, I thought it was still not worth it. I was like, it's still cheap even for a $50 fragrance. You're honestly better off buying something like a Dylan Blue for the summer than this. I also had bought the Baccarat Rouge 540 clone of this. It's same bottle, but it's red instead of this metallic blue. And that one, I remember having a similar thing going on where it had this plasticky type of note once you get into the dry down. Very similar to this one. I sold that bottle for that reason because I also had like 5 other colognes of Baccarat Rouge, and I was like, yeah, this one I'm not liking that note, and it reminds me of the what I'm smelling here. So I think it's something they use in their in this line, and I gotta check if their Baccarat Rouge clone, if it had an amber note or a galbanum. But I'm thinking it's that amber note. I think the way they use their amber probably gives off that cheap smell that I wasn't digging. So this one I would give like a 4 out of 10. Like not the greatest, totally skippable. Now let's get to something happier, right? Let's get on a positive note now. Let's talk about Davidoff Cool Water, Grapefruit, and Sage. Nice box right there. Here's the bottles. Similar to the original, it's just the juice inside is a different color. Top and everything is the same. This one off the atomizer is real nice. Both of these, this one too on the atomizer smells really good. So you'd be fooled with that. Once you actually wear it, it's a different story. Sprayer on these is always good. It lets out a lot of juice, so you go through this pretty quick. So this is a perfect spring fragrance. I actually wore this today. Let's talk about the performance first. We're gonna get about 7 hours with this one, 6 hours. If you spray it on your clothes, like your shirt, you probably get 8 hours. So the longevity is fine. Projection's also solid. Solid projection. I get about that first hour is maybe like an 8, and then it kind of dries down into like a 7. Stays there for a few hours, for maybe 3-4 hours, and then it slowly gets lighter. So yeah, the projection is good. You'll be noticed. It's gonna last you all day. You're gonna get your 7-8 hours worth. I think this goes for like $35, which is totally a great deal for what this is. It's kind of like think Cool Water, the original. If you replace that that pine note of like the pine trees, and you give it a sage, right? Like you replace the pine trees with sage. That's basically what you do here. It's a fresh sage. I would say you get some light sweetness. Not sure what that is. The grapefruit keeps it fresh, but it never smells like grapefruit. Like it never smells citrusy, but it smells fresh. It smells fresh, and it smells a lot more spicy. It's not translucent and airy and clear. It's more think the texture of the original, right? Where it's not like thick either, but or it's spicy would be the best word I can find to describe it. So you're gonna get a lot of that sage and a freshness, which is obviously some of that grapefruit and some woodsy notes. But like I said, it doesn't come off citrusy. It comes off more spicy and fresh woodsy. Real nice, real easy to wear. This one, anyone can pull this off. You can wear it any age, in my opinion. I haven't worn this a lot. Never gotten compliments with it. But when people have tried it here and smelled it or whatever, they have liked it. It smells, smells perfectly fine. This is something that's, I would give about a 6.5, maybe a 7. Perfectly middle of the road. Buy a fragrance for $30 or whatever, but it's not gonna turn any heads. It's not gonna wow anybody, but it's gonna get the job done. Let's talk about this one, Frank Olivier's Night Touch, metallic blue box, pretty cool. I like the bottle as well. It's kind of got like that Versace's Eros type of shape. It says Night Touch right here in silver letters. Pretty cool. The cap is cheap plastic, very light. Atomizer. The one thing I don't like about this one is the sprayer sucks. Look at this. Oh, right now that actually sprayed pretty good. A lot of the times it sprays kind of like very little bit of juice. Let me get the cap here. Okay, so yeah, the bottle and everything I do like. Pretty cheap too. It's like $25. And I get this at Fragrance Net. It's like $25. This is a slept on house. Frank Olivier, when it comes to cheapies, believe it's like a Paris. There you go. Paris. So the Middle Eastern clones and the Middle Eastern cheapies are getting all the hype nowadays. This one is good. So let's talk about this. Is probably my favorite one out of the bunch. Longevity, you're gonna get your 8 hours. Projection, you're gonna get a 7. Good solid projection, good longevity. Man, it's overpowering these other two right now. And I just sprayed these like not that long ago, and you could clearly smell this one a lot more. You're gonna get a strong pineapple note here, citrusy. This is like, I guess, if you like blue fragrances, stuff like Invictus, this far better than Invictus. I'm not a huge fan of Invictus, however. This is good. It is like, if you like those style fragrances, compliment getters, mass appealing, stuff like that, you're gonna like this. So it's different enough. Like it's not like most of the other blue fragrances. So the cardamom that you get here mixed with the pineapple, oh man, that is like gangbusters. But the pineapple is always overpowering the cardamom here. But it gets a freshness and it gives it almost like a sex appeal to it, right? Like you're gonna smell attractive. It's not super complex. What I mean by that is that it's not gonna get like a lot of changes through the wear. It does have some florals here. They give it this cleanliness to go along with that citrus and that spicy cardamom. So the freshness here, the cleanliness, is some florals. I'm not quite sure what florals it has in here, but I know once you get about 4 hours in, it becomes a little bit more mature. It's not mature like old mature, but it's not like teeny bopper how it starts off, right? It gets this, it has vetiver and it has, I believe, patchouli. So it gives it a little bit of that to like make it a little bit more mature, a little bit more grown up. That's once you get to like the 4 hour mark, and they will stay there for the next 2 or 3 hours, right till the fragrance ends. So they will kind of start as the pineapple and the cardamom settle down a little bit, like around the 4 hour mark. They start not being as strong. You can now start smelling the patchouli and the vetiver a little bit, not too much. The cardamom and pineapple are still the dominant players, but now they're a little bit more balanced, where you get touches of that little earthiness, little grassiness, and it almost becomes like more refined, if you will. But it's still never like a super classy scent. This is like totally party scent and like everyday use, compliment getter. Yeah, it's really good. I really enjoy this one, and you're gonna get attention with it. And yeah, so that one, it's a great one. I would give it like a 9 out of 10, especially for that value. Great price, but even had the price been different, it's still a really good scent. Like I said, I would pay the Invictus price for this before I pay it for the Invictus itself. Right? I'm talking about the original Invictus, or even better than the Invictus Aqua. Not the one in the frozen bottle, the other Invictus Aqua. This is better than that one as well. So now let's talk about the last fragrance that I've been wearing this week. Is this one, Aqua di Jo, the Eau de Parfum. Man, this smells real fresh. Sea notes, when you're smelling it from the atomizer, it just smells like I'm in the ocean. Is this similar to the original? It's very similar to it. It just doesn't have those white florals. Now let's just give it a spray. The sprayers on these have always been pretty solid, no complaints there. Now this goes for like about $150. So the expectations obviously are higher because you're paying a higher price tag, right? So you're gonna get in the opening that orange. You're gonna get some mandarin orange. It says green notes and the orange. Citrusy, and you're gonna get that sea salt or sea notes as they call it, but it's basically the sea salt. It's salty, which I like that note. I like salty notes, or even when it's caramel. Sometimes caramel could come off salty. I like when they have that, or the ocean notes, sea notes, because that salty note always feels fresh to me, right? It's fresh, like I'm in the ocean or by a lake somewhere, or like I just hopped out of a pool. Although when you hop out of the pool, it's more of that chlorine smell you have on you. But yeah, this smells good. So the projection is always like about maybe a 6. It's not a very strong projection. Get about 5 hours. So it's 6 projection, 5 longevity. It's an Aqua di Gio. That's kind of what you expect from the original. Maybe even a little less performance from the original. Is this better than the OG? I don't think so, because I like the white florals that are on the original. That's kind of made it different, because you had C notes and you had like some florals, right? So it stood out. This one, it's not bad. Citrusy, aquatic. It's what I had in mind, what I expected. It's pretty much what I'm getting here. Nothing amazing. I expected something similar to the original. It just says EDP instead of EDT. And that's pretty much what I got here. Nice fragrance. The quality is there. It's obviously, I'm smelling these other ones that are like at a cheaper price. The scent DNA, I like more that night touch. But we're talking just quality and how refined and how the smell comes off. This comes off more expensive, and it should, because it costs more. If we're just talking the scent DNA, I like that night touch, and this one, I think I would put it second, probably second place from the ones I just showed, and then maybe the cool water. This one and the cool water are pretty even at around a 6.5, maybe a 7. They're right there, but just because if I like both of them about the same and the other one is so much cheaper, I feel better about that purchase, right? Although this one, I don't feel bad about spending the money on this one, because it was gonna be on my collection regardless. It's one I wanted to add because I like to collect the Aqua di Gio line. Not every single one. There's some that I look at and I'm just like, I have no interest. But a lot of them, I'm like, I kind of want the bottle, because I want the bottles to look different. If 2 bottles look similar, unless I'm really interested in the fragrance, then I'm like, I don't need both bottles. They kind of look the same. I have to be actually interested in the DNA. Like this one, had it just been the frosted bottle, I might say, I don't need both the EDT and EDP and just choose one, right? And it would probably be the original one over this one. But yeah, this one's totally easy to wear. You're gonna get compliments. Nobody's gonna not like it, right? But you probably smell a lot of other similar stuff to this, probably even at a lot cheaper prices. Because I have some of those Acqua di Parmas. They can do something similar to this. Although I've noticed that on this, even though those are supposedly niche, I think the quality on this is a lot better. It's just not super creative. So yeah, guys, that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. What are you doing? So that way I can notify you on your feed next time a new video drops. Other than that, check you guys out next time.